Good evening and welcome to Bernlohr Field here at Bernlohr Stadium, live from Bexley, Ohio, as Hope College is in town tonight to take on the Capital Comets women's soccer. Thank you again for joining us today. We had a tough matchup our last time out. Hanover College in town, you may remember. That was back on the 17th, a week from today. And Hanover came in and beat Capital 3-0, a defensive miscue in the first half. And then a couple of just really nice plays on the other side. A goal from Beth Cook that kind of put it away was the third goal. She kind of just had a nice individual play on a run to score, and then the goal in between those was, of course, the penalty kick that was scored by Nora Ludwig. So obviously not the – I'm sorry, Ludwig actually did not – she missed the penalty kick, but on the rebound from that a few minutes later – she did end up scoring on an assist from Bree Mattis. My mistake there, misremembering how that went down. But some pretty good games on the other side. 2 goals for Beth Cook and a goal and assist from Nora Ludwig, even though she did miss that PK. And all in all, a really decent day for Hanover. They had 10 shots, and 8 of them were on goal. So very efficient offensive day, and they were able to convert 3 of those 8 shots into goals. On the flip side for Capital, despite outshooting Hanover 8-5 and looking a lot more solid in that second half, weren't able to find the back of the net and were shut out after coming in with a nice start to the season, scoring 6 goals in their first 2 games, a 2 and a 4 spot. Since then, it's been 1-0 win, 1-0 win, and a 3-0 loss. So now we're looking at a slump again in terms of this offensive production. Just 2 goals in the last 3 games, and now another tough opponent in town in Hope College, who comes in at 4-1-1, and the Flying Dutch have a very good offensive attack. They have a 5-goal scorer on their side in Emma Duttmers. They have another 3-goal scorer in Haley Flynn, and as a team, they've scored 19 goals in 6 games, and one of those including a game of 6 this season. They're averaging 3.1 per game. They're playing incredible defense on the other side, 1 goal allowed per game in their first 6 games. So obviously they've come in as a really good opponent. They're outshooting their opponents on average 21.8 to 10.5. Those are per game numbers. And really good mix of veteran players and young players that are up and coming, as you like to see in any program. So this will be a tough test tonight for Capital, and we'll see if they're up for it. We'll step away for one moment here. We'll get you your starting lineups, and then we will get to soccer action briefly here from Bernlohr.
Need you to go away. Still going bad on them anyway. Saw you last night, but did it all day. Yeah, a lot of murder coming in a hallway. Got a sticky and I keep it at my dog's place. Girl, I love you, love it, matching that soft shade. Still going bad on you anyway. I can feel like Eddie Rest in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back is getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some biz on your head like just a cherry. Rich and Millie cuss a Lambo. Known to keep the better on commando. Every time I'm in my trap, I move like Rambo. Ain't a neighborhood in Philly that I can't go. For real. She said, oh, you rich. I graduated, call me Big Fish. I got Lori Harvey OVO, we back again, going back. Just a little 10-piece for it, just to blow it in the mall. Doesn't mean that we involved. I just put a Richard on the card. I ain't going playing ball, but I'll show you how to. Gotta do it if you really wanna fall till you fall when you're back against the wall. And a bunch of need you to go away. Still going bad on them anyway. Saw you last night, but did it all day.
And now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's match. First for the visitors. In goal, number 1, Parker Hutchinson. Number 5, Cassie Brookhuizen. Number 7, Emma Duttmers. Number 9, Lauren Ellinger. Number 11, Olivia Dieppe. Number 18, Jenna Mustafa. Number 19, Liz Bellinger. Number 20, Madison Holloway. Number 22, Kaylee Usiak. Number 25, Megan McCauley. And number 26, Natalie Hammer. The Flying Dutch are led by Lee Sears, assisted by Elliot Slank, Kate Thayer, and Holly Van Nord. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Capital University Comets. In goal, a senior from Dublin, number 1, Lauren White. At defense, a freshman from Chillicothe, number 2, Ella L. Peltier. At defense, a sophomore from Columbus, number 4, Abby English. At midfield, a senior from Hilliard, number 8, Madeline Woodruff. At forward, a junior from Cornell Winchester, number 11, Alexi Snyder. At midfield, a sophomore from Dublin, number 12, Nicole Ogden. At forward, a senior from Pickerington, number 15, Avery Hart. At defense, a junior from Pickerington, number 16, Haley Moore. At midfield, a junior from Westerville, number 25, Sophia Leonetti. At forward, a sophomore from Dublin, number 28, Catherine Zagaro. And at forward, a sophomore from West Liberty, number 29, Grace Estes. The Comets are led by Matt Ogden in his 8th season. He's assisted by Megan Wharton and Giovanni Salinas. At this time, we invite you to rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And welcome back upstairs here to the broadcast booth here at Bernlohr Field at Bernlohr Stadium. Again, Hope College in town tonight to take on the Comets in their home white uniforms today, mixing it up a little bit from the gray tops we saw last week. For Hope College, if you missed it, the starting lineups, they are going with Parker Hutchinson, Cassidy Brookheisen, Emma Duttmers, we mentioned is their leading scorer, Lauren Ellinger, Olivia Dieppe, Jenna Mustafa, Liz Bellinger, Madison Holloway, who scored the game-deciding goal in the 1-0 match last year at Hope College between these two schools. Rounding out the starting 11 is Keely Usaic, Megan McCauley, and Nat Hammer. For the Comets, starting in net will be the senior Lauren White. She is joined by Elle Pelletier making her first start, Abby English, Madeline Woodruff, Lexi Snyder, Nicole Ogden, Avery Hart, Haley Moore, Sophia Leonetti, Catherine Zagaro, and Grace Estes. Mentioned Aaliyah Berletic, not a member of the starting lineup today. She left last game with an injury last Saturday, and looks like she is going to be out for some time here for Capital. So stepping in to fill the void is the young freshman Elle Pelletier. Did a nice job in the second half in Saturday's game, and we'll see if she can continue that and stick with the starting 11 here. Hope College will be in their road uniforms, which is a navy with orange numbering, moving from right to left to start things off. And as I mentioned, the all-white look today from the Comets, who are about to break huddle and get things started. After a 3-game losing streak, a 3-0 loss on Saturday, so you know this Capital team is looking to get back on the right side of things here tonight. And they got a good one in net with Lauren White starting, the senior. Always nice to have seniors in this kind of a situation where you don't know, you want to just turn the momentum around from a bad loss. And having Lauren as a nice steady presence back there, 1.67 goals against average, 21 saves, and 80% save percentage in 4 starts this season, 270 minutes logged in net. And on the other side for Hope College, in net will be Parker Hutchinson. She's a junior out of Ada, Michigan. This is where Hope is based out of in Michigan, Holland, Michigan to be exact. And we mentioned a 1.00 goals against average for her, 20 saves, 76% save percentage, 2 shutouts in 540 minutes played in net. Let's get this thing started. Capital will get the first kick here. And it's played back, and we're underway. Capital's football team came up a little bit short today on this same field about a few hours ago. That game ended, so we're trying to split the day here at Bernlohr Field and get another win in the column for the women's team to get them back on track. We had a men's game postponed due to weather on Wednesday, and a beautiful night here in Bexley, Ohio. Temperatures are in the 70s. And we'll probably dip down into the 60s as we move on through the game. Other than that, not much to complain about. Capital trying to get the first real push sustained here. Leonetti will have to play this one back. Here is the freshman Pelletier. And just missed Ogden in the midfield. Coming back the other way now is Emma Duttmer. She is the leading scorer for this Hope College team. That averages over 3 goals a game. She has 5 of them. Capital does a good job of keeping her away from the net after it looked like she was going to be on a good run there. Throw-in coming up the far sideline. It's dropped down up the far end of the field, and Capital will win the possession here. A lot of just kind of tossing in the ball there and waiting for a team to really gain possession. We've only played 2 minutes here so far. Leonetti with a good header here at midfield. A second one, and another nice touch there to get it outside to Estes, but it was a little bit behind her. And as a result, Hope will take possession. Blasted out of bounds from midfield now by Hope, and White will let this one go out of bounds. I remember the last game on Saturday, they played this goal kick short, and it led to an errant pass that was then a 2-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and a striker from the other side got the first goal of the game. This time they play it short. Cap sets up their striker with a chance. Following it up is Zugaro. She swings and misses, and it comes all the way back outside to Pelletier. So they played it short that time, and that's how it's supposed to work. Didn't get the shot opportunity off of it, but they did get some pressure into this zone, and once again, they do a similar thing. Avery Hart attracting a lot of attention so far in this one. Both center backs were marking her there, and one of them just kicked it out of bounds. Try to keep some pressure off of their goalkeeper, Parker Hutchinson. Good early pressure from the Comets, trying to break kind of an offensive slump that they've been in. Excuse me, and they're looking a lot better, as I mentioned, the first few minutes here. Nice play by English to step in front, and then it'll come all the way back out to Haley Moore. Moore thought about the high side of the field, then faked that way, went to Ogden instead. After a give and go, she feeds through the middle, and Hope is there to cut it off. They'll try to punch one through. English sends it right back to midfield. Leonetti's been active in this one already. Passes to Estes, sizes up the defender. And Estes now will turn on the Jets. And she's got a lot of space. Nice move from Estes to get outside. Numbers here for Cap. It's about 3-on-3 in the box. And that pass is knocked down by a trailer. And now Avery Hart has it. Hart sets up a corner. Oh, actually, excuse me, correction. They're going to say that was off of Avery Hart. So Hart tried to set up the corner, and when she got there to kick it out, it was turned away and must have hit off of her foot on a deflection before it went out of bounds. So no corner for Capital, but they are able to get it right back here. Avery Hart passes inside. Estes has it. Estes tried to center it and was kind of knocked away from her feet there as she was dribbling it. Leonetti's here to back it up once again. She turns around and gives it to Lexi Snyder. First time we've said her name. And here comes Snyder now with a full head of steam. Too much on that pass to the outside in front of Zugaro. And it'll go back the other way only momentarily. Nice two-man game up the sideline. And Hope College has a little bit of something now brewing. Cassie Brookheisen working against Leonetti. And she is able to get the pass off. Good tempo to this one. Liz Bellinger now sends it to the right, and that ball is kicked well wide and out of bounds. Looks like that one was kicked on there by Madison Holloway. I mentioned these two teams played last season at Hope College, and Madison Holloway had the game-winning goal in that game, 1-0. Holloway is a junior out of Macatawa, Michigan, went to Holland Christian High School, and as I mentioned, Hope College out of Holland, Michigan. They're a part of the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association, the MIAA, which is one of the oldest conferences in college. Do have video back for you, so that's good news. Found out the issue, fingers crossed, but we're hanging in there anyway. 18 minutes to play, first half action again, a 1-0 game. And Capital out in front. Again, you didn't miss much on the goal from our angle. It was really hard to see what happened. And Hutchinson just, again, she either dropped it or she just never had it to begin with. And it just bobbled into the net. So the free kick sent on by Jenna Mustafa. She's a really good leg, as we've seen, and Lauren White is able to get out of the net before a threatening shot comes her way. Longano controls possession for Capital, plays it up towards Avery Hart. Figured you guys can see what's going on now. Don't need me to break down every single pass here as it goes out of bounds from Ogden. Sorry again about the issue. Glad it's up. It should be good the rest of the way from what I'm being told. That almost looked like a handball thrown in towards Haley Flynn. Ball goes out of bounds. Interesting that Flynn is a sub coming on with 3 goals, so maybe just the hot start to the season, or if they're actually counting on her as the secondary scorer for this team. Here's Flynn again, right in front of the net, and that one sent away. Capital's defense doing a nice job packing it in. Another opportunity now for Hope from just outside the box, and Capital momentarily had it clear. Hope trying to change that, and it's out of bounds going Capital's way. So 1-0 still our score, 15-13 left to play in the first half. And they're going to go up the far end of the field this time. Markham trying to work with Snyder here. And Hope is going to come away with the possession on their end. In terms of shots to this point, Capital's credited with 4 shots. Hope has been credited with just 1 shot. It was a shot on goal. And outside of that, save from Lauren White, there hasn't been anything to worry about from Hope scoring, at least statistically. They go to the near sideline, to the Flying Dutch of Hope College. And this is Dieppe again with it. Gets it forward to Flynn. And played back now into the midfield. Klosky trying to run up the far end of the field now. Leonetti steps in front of that play. And Ogden is there as well. Ogden back to Leonetti. Leonetti, a defensive midfielder, but she's been involved in the offensive attack so far. Kicked out of bounds, but Capital will have possession with 13:30 to play on a throw-in. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going. Cap gets another throw in, and on the near sideline have continued to keep control here the last 30 seconds or so of game time. Still trying to find the empty space here to get an entry into the box and attack. It's played all the way back. That wasn't the right move, as Hope is going to come away with it. Cap is able to regain control. Just as I say that, kicked out of bounds. Another sub coming on for Hope College, and it's going to be Margaret Oshani checking in. Kind of a homecoming for her, actually. She's from Westerville. Went to Westerville Central High School. Throw in coming for Hope College. Thrown into the box. Flynn has it. Flynn swings it home, and it is knocked down by Lauren White once again. I believe that's going to be credited as a shot. And an easy save for Lauren White. Under 12 minutes until halftime now, and it's punted upfield over the head of Woodruff. Avery Hart was there. Hart gets the steal now and feeds it to Woodruff. Back on a through ball to Hart, and up at the top of your screen is Markham. But Hutchinson wins the foot race. And now Hope has something developing on this end. Flynn, unable to control it. Kicked it with the back of her heel, so she's able to at least keep possession momentarily. Leonetti has been really strong in the passing lanes here in the first half. And she steps in front of another pass. Now a hard tackle, playing an advantage on is Hope. And that's going to go for a goal kick. Excellent work running with the defender there from Lexi Snyder. Again, good defense. Another sub for Hope, number 24 this time. That's Tally Martinez, junior out of Zeeland, Michigan. Ball is kicked up the far sideline by Capital, and that'll at least alleviate some pressure from the front of their net, but not able to sustain any kind of possession here. Avery Hart now trying to poke a ball free. She can't, and Hutchinson sends it to midfield. Cap should be able to get some possession here. And Leonetti, who else, is there to calm everything down, plays it back to Moore. Centered to midfield, Leonetti. Back to Moore again. Cap trying to find the seam and not finding one right now. And they're content to just kind of kick it around and wait, I guess. There's Hope with the big steal. Cap gets it right back. Nice juke there from Snyder, I believe. And now they're off and running. That's Woodruff. That was actually Avery Hart on the juke. Oh, a player with some contact there. That's Lizzie Elliott, who had broken free for a split second there. Had to step at least on the defender. And for some reason, no whistle there. Ball centered in now by Hope. It's loose, and White dives on top of it. Oh, man. Almost a nightmare scenario like we saw on the Capital goal. Hope will have a throw-in on the near sideline. Into the box goes Hope, a shot that goes wide from the aforementioned Margaret O'Shaughnessy, the Westerville product, was able to just kind of maneuver that thing into the box, and her kick goes wide of the net. And Lauren White able to not make the save, but prevent the ball from going in. Woodruff controls for Capital now. Ogden has it with 7:20 to play. Nice touch there from Avery Hart. Back to Woodruff. She has options. She goes to the right. Cap has numbers 3-on-3. Here's Elliott. Fakes a shot. Turns inside. Left foot. Her shot got blocked. It's loose in the box. Hart steps in. It's still loose. Ogden coming on now. She tried to chip it towards the net, and it's going to be scooped up by Hutchinson. So a set piece now for Hope, but it's from quite a ways out. A low line drive towards the box. It gets cut down. Helped into the box by Flynn, working against Snyder. Into the corner, and Cap will come away with it. Just clear it. There they go. Towards the sideline. Markham's there to help out. And now Capital trying to just feed this thing away from their net. A slide tackle keeps it alive. Another chip towards the corner now. And a header here from Lungana, who draws the foul. Excellent job defensively there. And again, that's in the spot of the injured Aaliyah Berletic. .5:22 to play. Ball is sent on. Header won by Hope. That's Dieppe. We've said her name quite a bit. From her outer back position, here she is again. Olivia Dieppe running up the near sideline, and it's cleared out of bounds again defensively. That was Estes who dropped all the way back to help out. And now the ball is sent away from the Capital net. Controlled now momentarily by Tally Martinez. Martinez plays it back, gets the pass back on, and now it's chipped away again by Capital, and that's Lizzie Elliott. And Elliott had the initial defense there when I just said Grace Estes. Obviously, that was Elliott who had come and filled in for Estes a few minutes ago. Goes all the way back to Lauren White. White punts it away. Leonetti. Nice pass. Here's again the Westerville product of Margaret O'Shaughnessy. Her shot got blocked. And O'Shaughnessy has found herself. She's found herself with 2 or 3 opportunities now on the near sideline. Hasn't been able to do much with them. One shot was blocked, the other was shot wide. Another ball that is going to end in no threat at the net as it's a goal kick. 2:42 to play. .225 to play. In the first half, still 1-0 Capital. In terms of the shots, it has actually started to even up here. 5 shots for Cap, 4 for Hope. Both teams with 2 shots on goal. And the difference in the game and the difference in the shot department is the goal from Woodruff, which was mainly a free kick, corner kick attempt to the front of the box that ended up, to the goal, I should say, directly, and it ended up going in the net. And if you take that away, probably would be looking at an even 4-4 shot, 0-0 goal, and instead, Cap is up in both departments. 1:38 to play. Hope has a throw-in coming. Haley Flynn trying to control for Hope, and it came all the way back out to Capital. And excellent work here up the near sideline by Avery Hart. And she'll win possession for Capital.
One minute remaining in the first half.
Pass goes in. 1 minute remaining for Hope, trying to get some call. They do. A foul called. Flynn trying to receive the pass there from the right flank. It doesn't come. And now some headers back and forth. A ball shot into the box. Flynn going to try to win a foot race. Lauren White easily wins it for Capital. And we battled through some technical difficulties and a pretty well played defensive half. And at the end of it, Capital comes out in front 1-0 as we head into the short intermission for halftime. So we invite you to join us back in about 10 minutes, I believe. Yep, 10 minutes put up on the clock. So we'll see you then with second half action here from Purmort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. It's 1-0 Comets. And back with more in just a bit. All right, sides have been flipped. It's 1-0 Capital out in front on a goal from Madeline Woodruff. Her second of the season is the difference, as Hope will overload the near side of the field and attempt to bring it down this side, it looks like, at least. See if Cap tries to adjust. It seemed like they're playing kind of straight up, and now Avery Hart will try to defend, and they send it into the opposite corner. So kind of an interesting strategy, but it has seemed to work, and that's why Cap didn't overcommit, and a decent job to work it away from the net in the meantime. This Hope College team came in averaging over 3 goals a game, so they have more than enough offensive firepower to try to get back in this thing. Capital would like to get a little bit more comfort. I have a possession sheet here for each team in terms of kind of where the action was. For the Hope side, a lot of time, 36% spent attacking the Capital net. Only 17% back in their own zone, but they weren't able to turn that into anything. Throw-in coming for Capital. Throw-in still being sorted out up there at the far end of the field. It's going to bounce away from Capital. That looks like a foul on Leonetti, but they don't call it. And Hope has it with Holloway up the far sideline. Holloway trying to win a foot race to the corner. And her pass is kicked away. Pelletier defending for Capital up there on the high end of the screen. Cross gets knocked down on its way to the net here for Cap, and now a clear that goes off of the Hope player Holloway and through the end zone. Capital at midfield now with possession. And they've dribbled it all the way across the field now into the attacking zone. Again, they didn't spend much time in the attacking zone, but they spent enough time to win a corner kick. They have just one corner compared to the 2 for Hope. And again, there hasn't been a whole lot of pressure offensively on either side in terms of actual sustained threats, just kind of a couple of plays that happen here and there. Seen a couple of shot opportunities on the near sideline here for the substitute Oshani, who had came in. She leads the team with 2 shots. And interestingly enough, of the starting 11 for the other side, as a shot goes whistling high here for Capital, if you take a look at the shots for the other side, there aren't any from the starting 11. They're all from the reserves. So that's kind of an interesting trend. And a 5-goal scorer is among those in the starting 11. And we haven't even said her name. That's Dupmers, number 7 on the other side. She's on the near side of your screen down here right in front of us. And like I said, we've not said her name at all in this contest. Capital has done a fantastic job of negating her, and a lot of that credit goes to Lexi Snyder, who's defending her now. Hope will have a throw-in in the near corner. It goes into the box. There is Dutmers right there, who kicks that out of bounds for a goal kick. Hope has the counterattack mounting now, and a foul is called. After the goal kick, Capital that is initially had possession, they're able to get a steal, and then they draw the foul, which negates the steal there from Hope. And now English will send it on. That might have hit a body on its way through. I believe it did. And that obviously is going to stop it from getting too deep into the defensive zone there for Hope. Nice header by English here to deny the entry. And we've seen 6 minutes already trickle off of the second half clock. And Hope still looking for an equalizer. Here's a run. Greenberg bringing it in, takes the shot. It goes off of the backside of Moore and cleared away by Leonetti. A follow-up swing from way out, and that one goes wide. That was Shelby Jackson. Controlled now by Hope once again. And it goes out of bounds off of Hope. The referee, as it was right in front of the Hope bench, it went out of bounds off of Capital pretty clearly, and their bench was upset. Whistles blow from the official. She says stop, relax, and then gives them possession. Interesting moment here. Ball goes towards the net. Now actually hits off of the crossbar. A creative looking shot attempt. And a correction on the last shot. I mentioned Shelby Jackson had the shot. I'm looking at the wrong roster. I apologize. That's a reserve for Capital actually. And the shot attempt on that last one that was high and wide was by Liz Bellinger on the other side. Cleared away by Moore. The shot that hit the crossbar was shot by Kaylee Usayak. And Hope is starting to get a little bit more volume at the Capital net, so the Comets need to try to slow the pace down as Hope is coming hard at their net. That was another run there that goes out of bounds through the end zone. It's already been 8 minutes, and Hope has already put up 3 shots this half. They put up 4 in all of the first half alone. And Hope continues to win all of these 50-50s, it seems like. That one's going to be a throw-in for for Hope, off of Cap. Thrown into the box and cleared away. Controlled momentarily here by Mustafa. She's got a big foot here. Just sends it forward. Didn't show off the leg that time, but we've seen her from midfield on a few set pieces get it into the box deep. Cap has a little bit of a counter push going now. Now it's a push the other way for Hope after Cap unable to control anything on that run. And it comes out to Emma Dutmers. Normally on the near sideline, but it looks like she's switched fields here up top. I don't know if that's a long-term thing or just the way the play went. That's a foul up the far end of the field. Capital will have a set piece now and see what kind of damage. Leonetti, I believe, should be the one to take this here for Capital. And it's actually not going to be her, though. It's going to be Ogden, I believe. Trying to catch the number. That is not Ogden. That is Zugaro. That might be Avery Hart. We'll get a number in a minute here. It's on the far end of the field trying to make out who that is. I believe that's Avery Hart, actually, so maybe trying to send this one at the net. That's definitely Avery Hart. Hart sends it to the front of the box, and it's going to go off of Capital. Hart tried to find Leonetti there, who was cutting deep there, and actually a really good ball from Avery Hart taking the set piece. Hope has continued to use a lot of subs in this game, and they continue that trend with Sophie Novak checking in, the freshman. 11 minutes gone by, second half action. It's still 1-0. Hope's bench trying to continue to keep them fired up here. Hope continuing to be on their heels now in this section. Another throw in from Capital. Oh, that should be a foul, yeah. Avery Hart was pushed down to the ground. And after a brief pause, from the far end of the field. Sent on the net by Hart, and once again, Parker Hutchinson comes away with it. Initial pass into the zone here, blocked by Moore. And Hope able to regain now. A knockdown by English as Hope tried to send it in once again. This time it does get through, and it's very weak as it gets to Lauren White. Cap has got a little bit of a run on the near side. That was Zugaro. And Zugaro comes back into the play to take the possession away. Now here's Woodruff, the goal scorer, and she wound up for a big one from 40 yards out. Ball got knocked down. Up the far end of the field now. Controlling and trying to swing it in. Another corner kick for Capital. We'll see who has the magic touch this time for Cap. It's going to be Woodruff again. She's on the different side of the field here, so this time the ball will be swinging with the curve away from the net as opposed to last time on the goal where it swung in towards the net. So this time it goes to the top of the box. Leonetti put a foot on it. Snyder's there trying to run it down, and English tried to help it on. And now everybody has to get back. And this is a fantastic effort defensively by Lexi Snyder. She came all the way across the field to cut that play off and then just simply kicks it off of Hope. Nicely done by Lexi Snyder. 2020 Freshman of the Year here in the OAC. Paul's drop back now. Swung in by Hope. Knocked down. This is excellent defense by Alex Moore. Sorry, did it again by Haley Moore. I don't believe she is related to Alex Moore on the men's team. Just a common enough last name. Hope is sending in 5 substitutes now. Making a line change. You never see this. O'Shawnee, Flynn, McCloskey, Melville, and Nagelkirk all check in at the same time. Now a run for Capital on this end of the field. Zugaro tries to cut inside. She gets possession. Oh, they call a foul against Zugaro there. I don't know about that one. Looked like the defender just lost her footing. Zugaro went to cut inside across her body. And I don't know if she just tripped over the ball or herself or what happened there. Hope is trying to get a quick advantage here off of the set piece. Now they'll slow things back down. Probably wise to try to change the momentum here and really set something up here with Mustafa's strong leg. Off of a header, it's loose. Into the box, out of the box, up the top end of your screen here to the left of your screen, and it's kicked away to midfield. And a foot race for this one now, and it's cleared away by Hope up the sideline. That's going to be clear. Stays in bounds. And now running free is Shawnee. She goes down. I don't hear a whistle. Don't think we should. But you have to hold your breath every time there. Shawnee has been very strong in this contest and almost found herself in another really high-scoring situation and almost drew the penalty kick whistle. Now this is Flynn with it. And 2 Capital defenders run into each other. And it's going to stay with Hope. There's a lot of chaos right now. Hope is resetting now as you can see them retreating to midfield. And now a bounce over the head of Hart. Can she win that dribble? No. If she got that ball out in front of her, she was gone. Would have been one-on-one. Capital slowing things back down to sustained possession here. There's a pile up at the middle of your screen there. Leonetti was down. She's okay. Everybody's okay. Just interesting that there's not a whistle blown there. And now we're going to have a whistle in the corner. So now on the free kick from the corner, basically a corner kick, headered away and cleared on by Capital. 25:34 left, and it's still anybody's ball game here. Hope has really notched up the pressure here, and they're getting a lot of activity in front of the Capital net. So far, Lauren White and the defense have been up to the task. White has made 2 saves, and the team has not allowed a goal yet, but as I said, the pressure in front of the net is continuing. Ball is crossed into the net and didn't even make it across the post. So you don't like those as a coach. You want to see that at least have a chance to go, but it curled before the net was even there. And turns into a lack of an opportunity. Markham checks back in for Capital. Oh, nice blast by Schneider off of the defender there. Capitals come away with possession after all of that exchange in the near side of the field. And dribbled all the way into the corner, swung in, and kicked out of bounds. So now another throw-in coming for... Oh, I'm sorry. This one stayed in bounds. I thought it was out of bounds there in the corner. Sorry. Lost my eye on the ball there. And it's still in play up the far sideline. Cap comes away with a steal. Avery Hart trying to work it into the box, and now it's sent out of bounds. Now we will have a throw-in. Maybe he just saw the future there. Across coming now from Cap, and that's going to set up the corner. Excellent work by Avery Hart, that whole sequence there. Wins the throw-in, wins what should have been 2 throw-ins. Crossed in by Woodruff, and much like the one on the other side that didn't make it to the front of the net, this one lands on top of the net, and similarly doesn't give the opportunity for Capital to do anything with it. After a foul at midfield, it's going to be a free kick now for Capital once again. Things have settled down here in the last 5 minutes, luckily. And Cap really looking for that insurance goal. You feel really good about it. Prior to the loss against Hanover, this team had won 3 straight games, as we've mentioned a few times. And 2 of those games, the last 2 particularly of that win streak, were 1-0 wins. So that seems to be Capital's forte this year. But obviously, they're getting some pressure on this side of the net as well. We've had a very high-paced game, which is nice to see. Both teams really going at it. And in the last 10 to 15 minutes, both teams have had some significant opportunities. The amount of shots in this game, the pace has gone way up there as well. And we are closing in on the final 20 minutes here Capital leads 1-0 on a miscue in front of the net. And put one more in there yourselves. I think that makes you feel really good. Obviously, you played well with the lead. You kind of caught a break, which you gave the other team last week. So kind of everything goes around, comes around there. And now you try to change the momentum back into your favor and score one the hard way. And really get that momentum to carry on into conference play, which is right around the corner here for Capital. Feels like the season just started because it did, obviously. We're game 6 right now. But that's how quick this season can start. And it feels like you're still trying to find yourself. But here we are next week, a week from today, and they're at Otterbein. Not any other game. Obviously, with Otterbein, it's always more than just that game with the rivalry and everything. But it's also an important game because Otterbein is one of the better teams in the conference as well, projected to be at least. After that, Cap will have 2 home games with Wilmington and Ohio Northern, October 5th and October 8th. Both those games, not both. The October 5th game at 7 p.m. and the Saturday game, October 8th, is going to be at 1 p.m. Cap will also have home games in conference against Mount Union, Heidelberg, and on Senior Day, October 29th, Halloween weekend, they'll take on Baldwin Wallace to close out the OAC season, which obviously means they'll be on the road against John Carroll, Marietta, and Muskingum this year. On the corner kick, they play it to a trailer behind the play there rather than send the swing in traditionally, and it's knocked away by Hope College. Cap will have one more tune-up before conference play. That one's Wednesday at Wittenberg. Hope has some serious numbers here. 5 on 4 the other way, and who else but Lexi Snyder is there to clear it away to safety. That was looking like a serious problem for Capital defensively. And it turns out to be okay. Cap has the possession now this way. And a shot that gets blocked. Woodruff was there, but it didn't make it to her on the rebound. And now here comes Hope again in the midfield. They don't have the same number advantage this time, and Leonetti steps in front, knocks that ball away. It's squirting loose, and Moore has it. And now Moore kicks it off of Hope. Cleared away by Capital once again. 17 minutes to play. And as I said, the past 10 minutes, it's kind of gone back to Capital's way in terms of the seesaw of possession, and now it seems like Hope is the team that is keeping that constant pressure the other way. And the free kick is sent over the net by Mustafa. Another throw in for Hope, trying to keep this pressure on with 15:40 to play. Lauren White to send it away for Cap. Nice play by Ogden in the midfield. And that's a great pass out in front of Markham as well, out of bounds. Throw-in coming. It'll be Lexi Snyder to throw it in for Capital. Snyder headed away immediately. Nice defense. One nothing lead right now for Capital, and doing their best to keep the pressure away from their net the last 5 minutes or so. Hope has turned it back up to 10, and Holloway trying to come away with it. Still battling in the corner. Pelletier, the freshman, can't stop Holloway. Cross in, and White, the senior, steps up. Holloway was the difference maker in the 1-0 loss for Capital last season at Hope, trying to even the score here today. They've done that with 14 minutes left to play, trying to just hang on. No real threat here from Markham. Cleared away off of Leonetti. She has been so good defensively in that midfield, playing way up away from the net as well. Lexi Snyder kicks it out of bounds, trying to get the steal. Free kick coming from Mustafa right down in front of us now with 13 minutes to play. She sends it on. That is bouncing around in the box dangerously, and the shot goes high off of the field goal upright. Wow. White clears it away once more. Another 30 seconds or so went by. So we're at about 12 and a half minutes now. Hope trying again. 2 subs from Cap getting ready to come on. Logano's one of them. These white jerseys have very small faded numbering on them. So it's really tough to pick up the numbers sometimes on the gray on white. And they're not very popular up here in the press box. That makes it a little bit tougher to distinguish sometimes. $11:40 to play. Here's the punt upfield. And that's going to go to Hope on the handball. Ball is sent in. It bounces through. It's loose, and White is there to make the save. O'Shawnee was right there again, ready to strike, and White is able to pounce on that. On terrifying moment there for Capital, but it works to their advantage. They're able to keep it away from their net. Subs coming on for the other side, and Cap is using this as kind of almost a pseudo timeout. And now Moore talking to the coaching staff. Tori Cottrell is the other substitute that replaces Snyder, who goes up in the formation now. Avery Hart with some nice moves. This shot is blocked. Markham trying to get the rebound. Comes all the way back down here. And there's Lexi Snyder popping back down. As Cottrell, Snyder almost having a 5-man defense right now, it looks like, for Capital, yeah. Cottrell's basically lined up as the 5th defender now instead of having just 4 as we're used to seeing. And part of that having to do with a 1-0 lead, I'm sure. There's Leonetti. Another ball that goes off of the field goal upright this time. So Capital will have 5 defenders and then 3 midfielders still with Woodruff and Ogden joining Leonetti. And then Markham and Hart, the only 2 strikers. So a little bit of a change to the formation here from Capitals to try to close out the lead. Ball is dropped down. And moving on towards the net. A whistle, and that's going to be a foul right outside the box. That's Nat Hammer who draws the foul. And this is going to be a huge moment in today's contest right here. From 8 minutes left, there's a small wall in front of the net and an excellent block of the shot attempt there. Taken by Haley Flynn. I'm sorry, taken by Liz Bellinger. And Bellinger's shot got blocked, and Cap's defense is up to the challenge once again. The Flying Dutch continue to pressure it on here. Now Markham has a chance, having to come way out of the net is Hutchinson. It's going to be a long bus ride back for Hutchinson if this score holds at 1-0. Cap will win the throw-in on the far end of the field. Watching the clock trickle down here, 7:35 to play. In this part of the game, you look to see Cap just control the ball. They usually will see teams dribble into the corner and kind of try to possess it in the corner away from their own net. This is exactly what they're doing. And now Hart faked doing that, just that, and instead tried to cut inside. Hope comes away with it instead, and now it's going to be shot out of bounds. Under 7 minutes to play. Shots are even at 10 apiece, and it's just a defensive miscue from Parker Hutchinson right now. That is the difference in this contest. Zugaro is going to check back in for Capital. And Lizzie Elliott as well. Maybe just switching up the strikers now, as there are some tired legs out there. Zugaro checks in officially now for Markham, and Avery Hart gets a well-deserved break in the final 6 minutes here. Now it's all about defense. White with a strong kick. It's headed on. Zugaro has it, and she plays it right to her right now to Elliott. And Elliott can dribble into the corner or try to find someone in the box. They seem to be going with option B. And a shot here from Elliott goes just high at the crossbar. Not a bad look at all. And now Hope needs to start racing the clock. 5:22 to play. And not really taking their time on this goal kick. They send it in as fast as they can, and they get about 20 yards of juice behind that one. But now they've got possession, and they send it up the far sideline, and that's going to go way out of bounds. Off of Capital. Actually, they called a foul back behind the play. My mistake. That's why no one was going after that. Thought it was because it was going out, but it was because of a foul called. So a free kick coming from midfield. You can see on the left of your screen. Here it is, sent in. It's going to make it to the box. It's going to bounce in front of the net. How many of these do we need to survive? Lauren White falls on top of it and catches her breath a second. Now it's punted to midfield off of Bellinger. Comes back down to Duttmers. Bellinger trying to feed it through to the left side. Nothing there. Sent back on. Oh, misplay by the defense, and White's there again. Kind of snuck past the Capital defense there, and that was Hammer. And Moore got enough of it defensively there to throw Hammer off of it. Hammer got a weak touch on it, and then White smothered it. Under 4 minutes, Zagaro knocks it down. She's going to have a chance here. Couldn't get around the defender. And now a missed touch here from Hope on the near sideline is going to turn it over. Hope has possession back, and they're trying to slow things down. 3:13 to play, and there's no avenue on this end of the field. Another free kick coming for Hope. There's been a lot of fouls here in the second half on Capital's side. And sometimes that happens when you're trying to be aggressively defending. Good clear by Woodruff to the sideline. Time is running low. 2:35 to play for Hope. Again, Capital's next game will be on the road at Wittenberg on Wednesday before traveling to Otterbein on Saturday to start OAC play. Here's Lexi Snyder, and her shot is blocked. Drove it into a nice offensive territory, took the whack at it. It got blocked down. And now Hope is trying to find numbers on a counter. They don't have them. Bellinger to Holloway, and cleared away defensively by Abby English. Another strong outing from Abby defensively today. 2 minutes left to play. Hope will have to drop back to their defense. Sent back on. Moore with a foot on it. Ogden with a foot on it. Zagaro with one more. And now Woodruff defending. Sent back in. Off of Moore. Off of Cottrell's left foot. And now down in front of Zagaro. Stolen away again by Hope. 1:30 to play. After all that, that was only 20 seconds. And the ball's kicked out of bounds off of Hope. I'm going to stop the clock now with 1:18 for the retrieval of the ball here. You don't see that often. And they still haven't resumed the clock. And Coach Ogden is wondering why the clock is stopping, and I am too. I've never seen that. Now whistles blow. And play on. Must have been an errant whistle from the crowd or something there that I heard. My mistake. But yeah, Coach Ogden, I think he has a legitimate gripe here. Why is the clock being stopped in that situation? Sure, maybe to retrieve the ball in the first place, but once the ball is thrown in and it's possessed by the goalie, that clock should be moving. And it probably bought Hope another 10 or 15 seconds in this game. Ball sent into the box. 20 seconds left, and here's where those 20 seconds probably shouldn't be there. And now Capital is going to win possession here. Or, sorry, Hope is going to win possession on the throw-in on the sideline. 10 seconds left. Headed in towards the net. Almost a handball in the box. And fortunately untouched. Lauren White steps on it, and that's your ball game. The Comets are back on the winning side of things with a 1-0 victory here tonight over Hope College, who came in 4-1 and won. A really good win for Coach Ogden and the crew, and caught a benefit of a defensive miscue. We'll call it a goalie miscue, as a corner kick that was swung into the box gets bobbled and just goes into the net without being touched by a Capital player, and that's the difference in the ball game, and that's the way the ball bounces sometimes in this sport. But we'll take it. It's a win for Capital, and they're back on the winning side. As we mentioned, Wittenberg is coming up next, the NCAC opponent. Last non-conference game on Wednesday. They'll travel to Springfield to play them. And then Otterbein on Saturday will start OAC play. Our first home game will be at October 5th for OAC play. And we'll catch you October 5th and October 8th for 2 games that week to see if Capital can bring home a win first against Otterbein and then make it a 3-0 start in conference play. We'll see. It should be a really fun year here in the OAC, and Capital looks to be back on the right side of things heading into conference play with one more tune-up on Wednesday. Other than that, not much to report on here other than the victory here for your Comets. We will see you next week, and we'll have some men's broadcasts on coming up this week as well, especially on Saturday, the Otterbein game. We'll obviously be here for the men's game, so we invite you to listen in on Saturday for that one as well, and we'll catch you back on October 5th for our next home broadcast of Capital Women's Soccer. I'm Jay Bloomfield. Again, a final score here tonight, 1-0 on Madeline Woodruff's second goal of the season, and it's the difference tonight as Capital defeats Hope. We'll see you next time. Thank you all for tuning in.